All right, y'all. So this week's episode of Chasing Atlanta was given a whole lot. So let's give it what we got.
Any color, big or small, Tika Naturals covers them all. Everyone deserves healthy, beautiful, vibrant, and nourishing skin. Naturally. Visit the Tika Naturals Instagram page for more.
So the episode starts off where episode 1 left off. They're all at the networking mix or whatever. And you got Cameron, not Cameron. Cameron is a rap. Oh Lord, what if Cameron is rapping now too, girl? Cause you know he was PR, he was promotions, he was a fashion designer. So anyway, they outside talking. Okay. Y'all ain't friends. Okay, Cameron? Y'all are not friends. And this is why. First of all, this shit happened in March of 2021. Months have gone by, and y'all have not talked about this. I was talking to my cousin Danye last night. Baby, I would have decided before I boarded the plane from Chicago back to Atlanta whether or not I was willing to salvage this or call it quits. Now, I'm going to give you some breathing time, and once we get back to the ATL, we can talk about it. But I'm not going to let months go by. And if you cannot talk to your friend about an issue you got with your friend, that's not your fucking friend. Bitch, we are in our 30s. What the fuck? Why do you have people around you that you can't emote to and tell them how you feel about them? Or about what they did to you, or about how they made you feel? And Cameron, I'm sorry. You sending money to Troy like everything is all good and you don't want to talk about the situation. I would feel like Troy and Dominique, why the fuck are you bringing this shit up right now if all the other times we was together or had communication or could have had communication, you had no issue? Now, Troy, my heart goes out to you, Troy. Honestly, and I know y'all didn't expect me to say that, but I have been where Troy is. That shit you got going on, that's just how I am, and I'm a brat, and that is not an excuse to treat people like shit. Cause what's gonna happen is, all that shit is gonna be cool until it's not. And you gonna find yourself without a friend or a care in this world. And you gonna have to rebuild and re-immerse yourself into the world, because what you are right now is not going to, you are a grown ass man. Nobody owes you any fucking thing. Not even your parents at this point. So acting like a spoiled brat is not gonna cut it. And y'all are just jealous of what? You were a manager at a department store a year ago. And from what the kids say, nobody can really put their finger on what you do. Even Riko said in episode 1, I got my rap friends, Dominique got his dog friends, and Troy got everybody, because he don't know what the fuck you do. And that's okay. As long as you get your coin, nobody needs to, that's your business. But girl, but let me wrap this scene up because it's getting lengthy. In short, Troy, you wrong as fuck for telling somebody you don't have to be my friend if you don't want to. That is so dismissive and indifferent towards somebody who just called you a brother. That's fucked up. And Cameron, that ain't your brother, let alone your friend. And all that shit you had to say to Joanna Man after she had, closed the door, you should have been saying all that shit to Troy. Jae Amour, I'm sorry. I just couldn't think of your name, and Joanna Man was the closest thing. I didn't want to call you a giraffe because you're not an animal. But you are a glamazon, honey. You are tall and you are gorgeous. But hey, how's the weather up there, girl? Because you are up the ladder through the roof. Girl, you are tall as shit. Riko I'm just going to call you Riko for the rest of this season, because I think that Riko with his hair is very long. Riko and Cardi Monroe. I love the way you spell Cardi. So he meets with Cardi Monroe to talk about, taking his career to the next level. He was like, listen, bitch, I've been out here grinding consistently, and bitch, now I can walk in my Butch Queen awareness, honey. Like, I don't have to, fake the funk, and I can be myself. Atlanta has taught me that, and I'm just ready to really express myself, girl. I got a show in Houston, bitch. I'm making shit happen. And Cardi was on board with everything. He was like, let me just be sure that you're all in, because bitch, When I get behind somebody, I put my name, my brand, my resources, my money behind them, and I ain't trying to pussyfoot. And Riko was like, rightfully so. He respected where Cardi was coming from. And I love how he talked about his trust issues, because even as a songwriter, I've experienced that. People make you promises and people say this, that, and the third, and you get none of it. So when people come to you and they're like, I can make shit happen for you, it's like, okay. You hear them and you want to be excited, but you also want to be protective of your energy, because you don't want to get your hopes up again to get the door slammed in your face or to not even make it to the goddamn door. Also, shout out to Jamar84. That is Scotty by Nature's best friend. You are making moves, girl, because I'm seeing you in the city. Girl, you doing your thing. Shout out to you. Cameron and this Eli Liberty situation. So Cameron is now a PR manager, and he got a show booked for Eli in Miami for a Pride event. That's not your office space. That is a multi-purpose center at best, or the rec center in your apartments. But that's not your office space, girl. Like, you make it seem like you got things, girl, and you got remnants. Like, and come on now. Like, you gotta understand why people feel the way they feel. You have literally had more careers than this show has had seasons. So, it's a running joke. Like Sheree with the joggers, and she by Sheree, like, tell me you ain't got no job. But it's okay. Like, you are hustling. You are hustling. And I'm not going to even bring it up in that scene. I'm going to say it now. Oliver, you wrong as fuck for saying Cameron is still with us. Because you were not talking about the fact that he is still filming with the show. You were talking about the fact that he is still alive. And bitch, that wasn't cool. Actually, this is the perfect segue, because the next scene was Oliver. Let me give you your flowers first. That song you did with that Uncle Luke sample? Bitch, I don't know if y'all don't know this. But Danya, you know this. Come around this train and hit your body. It's my favorite song of all time. Like, there is no song. It's above Brandy, bitch. I love that song. So when I heard that record, I was like, oh my God. I gotta get my hands on that record, Oliver, girl. So if it's not out already, just send it to me, girl. But they didn't really talk about much. They talked about the networking event. And then Oliver said he was throwing some event at some place, and that place just happened to be the place that place in that event actually happened to be where Riko Cassadine got his start. So it all comes full circle for him. And I'm proud of you, Riko, because girl, the other show you was on, it was cute, but girl, you didn't make it to the big leagues, honey. Dominique and Willa Michel, honey. Willa comes on the scene, and baby, she ain't taking no prison. She come up in her coupe, she got her pooch, and girl, she came to do the things that she came to do. So she goes to Dominique because they real good girlfriends, and she needed to get her dog groomed. She sits down with him and she starts talking about her career. Mama does hair, but she also has a culinary background. And she's like, I've been doing hair for X amount of years or whatever, but I really want to get back into the cooking because Mama can burn. Both of those are really reputable fields. Hairstylists get paid that guap. And I'm friends with a 5-star, A-class chef, and the coin is pretty. So either of those fields is gonna get you paid. So shout out to you, Willa, for knowing where that bag is and where the money resides. Dominique, in this scene, I was like, slow down, cause you was moving a little too fast. You was telling Willa that you wanted to introduce her to Kendra, but in the same breath, you wanted Willa to kind of figure out what's tea between the two of y'all. What type of shit? Hi, girl, it's so nice to meet you. Now, what's going on between you and them? Like, if that's your friend, why can't you talk to her? There's a lack of communication in this group. Y'all calling yourselves friends, but nobody seems to know how to get in contact with nobody they got an issue with. That's the problem. Because in my 31-year-old mind, if you can't reach me by caravan, if you can't reach me to express your problem, you don't have a problem with me. You don't. We not cool like that. You not fab, girl. Now, who else ain't fab? I guess in the streets of Atlanta is Troy, because the girls are not featuring you, Troy. Oliver went over to Jae Amour's house to try his wines. And here's the thing. I understand you want to try every wine he had to see which one you like the best. But you didn't have to sit there with 2 glasses in your hand the whole scene. You could have put one down and sipped from the other. You didn't sip from either. You didn't sip nothing. You just held the glasses for product. That was product placement, bitch. He had 3 wines sitting on that counter. Jae Amour had one and was drinking his, and you had the other 2. Oh, girl. I'm into production, so I be catching little stuff like that. But, yeah, they get to talking about Troy. And Oliver was like, girl, I've been hearing rumblings. And even with my own experience, Troy done switched up. Troy was a sweet, wholesome girl when I met her 2 seasons ago. And now, Godzilla. Like, she, you know, she's a monster. Like a Dungeon Dragon. And I don't like that. And that's that shit I was talking about, Troy. Eventually, your kingdom will crumble. Like, you can't treat people like shit and expect them to just bow to your glory. You are not Beyonce, bitch. And Beyonce don't even treat people like that. Now, I heard Tiana Turtle, too. I heard she talked to them down, honey. But, you didn't hear that from me. But, yeah, you can't. That may be why her last rose petal is falling. Anyway, yeah, so Oliver was like, I'm having a spa day, and hopefully, you know, that'll bring the girls together. So now you putting on 2 events. Kudos to you, girl. I'm glad you call it a spa day and not an event, because, girl, Lil Kendra's performance. Mama did good. The performance was great. I gotta be real, though. If she's your family, I am so sorry in advance. But I think the song was called Liar. Whoever told her she sounded good was the liar. Kendra, you could have did that. Even with the auto-tune, it was just like nobody listened to this and was just like, like, no. Like, moving on. The performance was amazing. So, and Dominique, shout out to you because you was a fan. You knew every word to every song. Shout out to you. So y'all go outside or whatever and meet up. Kendra meets Willa. Y'all get to talking. Everything is great. And Dominique is like, you know, we kind of had a moment and I really just want to know what's going on. So we need to link up sometime and talk about it. I need to have a one-on-one. Now, when Dominique said he needs to have a one-on-one, and Wayne was like, yeah, we need to. He wasn't talking to you, Wayne. I love you, boo, but he wasn't talking to you. And I think that's a lot of people's problem. They ain't gonna hurt Kendra. But sometimes, people, and I was in a situation like that before. I was with somebody who always brought somebody with them, and I'm just like, bitch. But even with all that being said, Dominique, you went on to say that you cherish both of their friendships. I'm gonna say it again. You went on to say you cherish both of their friendships. Kendra then says, I need to go inside, take pictures with the fans. And when she went inside, you and Willa went off to the side, and y'all got to talking about Wayne. Well, girl, I don't know, because there was an energy with Wayne, and he kept asking about my ring. Now, number one, bitch, slow down, because you were moving way too fast. Asking somebody why they ain't got their ring on is asking why you don't have your favorite Telfar bag on you right now. It was not that big of a deal, and you really made a big deal out of nothing. And then for you to take a jab at Kendra, worry about Kendra, get her better wigs. And you just said you cherish. My thing is, if you felt a type of way about it, you just said you cherish their friendship. Why could you say, well, Wayne, why you always talking about my ring? Like, you know, you could have brought that up then. And as a friend, why did you have to attack Kendra? You didn't think she was gonna ever see that? And then Riko and Oliver. Child, so Riko is rehearsing, Oliver comes through, and Oliver, because apparently they have an issue with one another and they're not getting along. I vaguely remember last season, but I do remember from the clip they showed that Riko had kind of went off and was like, bitch, ain't nobody gonna check me. So anyway, Oliver, his problem is basically like, you sided with the ops and you overstated your opinion. And Riko was like, the opinion you asked me for? They showed the receipt. You asked Riko what he thought, and Riko gave a very blanketed, general, political answer. I think you expected loyalty from somebody who wasn't your friend. Y'all are work friends. Y'all text here and there. He's been over to your house a couple times. Yada, yada, yada. Y'all ain't friends. You expected undying loyalty from him because y'all have only had good experiences. But if he can see you're wrong in a situation like he told you to your face, when you said, then why can't he express that when it's brought up in other friend groups? Y'all are working. So if the subject matter is brought up, and then you got in your confessional and said, you're entitled to your opinion, Riko, and it's very valid. But in the same breath, you ended with, you really shouldn't have an opinion about this. Which is it, Oliver? And then you started gaslighting. Why are you getting all... that's that Kenya Moore shit. You came in here, you started something. I got passionate about it because I'm defending myself. And what's all this energy? You need 60 seconds? Okay, now you have 45. Like, you doing too much. And the fight that ensued in the next episode would have already taken place in this one, because I would have cocked my leg back like a fucking stallion and kicked you back into the hallway from whence you came, bitch. Because what you not finna do is gaslight me. You came to my situation. I was finna apologize for your cold ass macaroni, for coming at you wrong and verbally attacking you for all, but you coming at me for a whole nother reason. And when I discuss it with you, now I'm being irate and I'm doing a whole lot. And you're gonna give me 60 seconds to take a break. Oliver, slow down. Cause, I don't know. You said you had a new attitude. You don't. You are the same Oliver. You elevated, but essentially the same. Next week we get the tussle. And yeah. That's what this episode gave. It gave what it gave, so I gave it what I had. I love y'all. Kitty Box on Saturdays. Same place, same time.